Sinister Sisters.
Welcome to another episode of Sinister Sisters. I am Bane Hellborn with my sister,
ScorpioGirl.
Today's topic is about really scary horror movies based on true stories. We have quite a few sites to where the most popular movies keep coming up, and it tells a little bit of a story about what it's based on. So starting off, we have The Exorcist, based on the book about a real life of a boy, Roland Doe, who was possessed by demons in 1949. It said that he wasn't did as much stuff as the movie showed, but
Regan doing.
But
it was basically telekinesis and violence towards his family.
Yeah.
But the telekinesis alone, I mean,
that's scary enough.
That is scary enough to. But then again, back in 1949,
yeah,
I mean, that's a big deal. However, that's when people were getting into the Ouija board and seances and things like that.
That's when all that was starting up.
So it could have been maybe a little exaggerated, but hey.
Well, no, the movie, of course, is very exaggerated.
Well, yeah, of course.
Because they have to add more scare factor than just a little boy screaming obscenities and moving objects.
And being violent. That's like any given night helping a child do homework. But anyways, I digress.
Okay, what's next?
The Texas Chainsaw Massacre, 1974. This movie is loosely based on America's famous serial killer Ed Gein, who had 9 human skin masks in his possession at the time of his arrest. So,
and he liked to play with body parts.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I could see where. What are all the movies that were actually inspired? So there was
Deranged,
Bates, Psycho. Wasn't there another one? And it all has to stem from such a really great story based on a real story of this mother, this ultra-religious mother, warped her son's perception of, the whole touch me, don't touch me, love me, don't love me, look at me, don't look at me, kind of really messed him up in the head. So I could see where a lot of people were like, hey, that's a really great thing to add to a movie.
Yeah. Because Ed Gein was a strange person. He was very quiet and shy and a nice guy.
Well, what was that famous quote that Ed Gein says when he sees a pretty girl? He says, there's 2 thoughts that go through my head. One is, she's really nice. I want to take her out,
treat her nice.
And the other is what her head would look like on a stick.
Yeah.
So you could see the polarity there on his psychosis.
Yeah. Thanks, Mom.
Thanks, Mother. Mommy dearest.
Yeah. Okay. Nightmare on Elm Street, the original. Wes Craven read newspaper articles about a group of Laotian refugees who died in their sleep because of their nightmares.
I thought he was watching an episode of 2020.
Well, yeah, he did that too, but he mainly read these articles about people dying in their sleep, like from severe night terrors, killing them, like heart attacks.
Yeah, well, I mean, they're Laotian refugees, so...
Yeah, they have a lot to be freaked out about.
Yeah.
And also, Freddy was based on a really scary guy that he had seen outside his house one night. He was burned. He was wearing a really weird, torn, dirty sweater, and he just stared up at little Wes in the window, and that's where Freddy came from.
Actually, I was wrong. He read the article in LA Times.
Yeah.
Okay, but he got the monster from a real.
Yeah, Freddy was based off of someone he had seen as a kid that scared the shit out of him.
Oh.
Yeah. And the medical reports of the refugees that died said there was nothing physically wrong with these people. They literally died of fright.
Well, that even happens. I remember reading a story, or no, seeing it on something like Sally Jesse Raphael or something like that, where a mother was on there because she was playing like hide and go seek with her little 6-year-old son, and she came around the corner the same time he did and scared him, and he died right there, died of fright. Dying of fear is a real thing.
Yeah, it's real.
It's a real thing.
It's real.
Okay, we have next Child's Play from 1988. Apparently, the script was based on a nurse who allegedly put a voodoo curse on author Robert Eugene Otto, which transformed one of his childhood dolls into a nighttime menace. So, wow. That's pretty interesting.
So this is where it starts about the cursed dolls.
Right. But that's interesting how they were able to base it off of a story about a voodoo curse.
A voodoo curse. Which is funny because Child's Play was about voodoo.
Well, right.
Chucky was all about voodoo.
Right. Well, it's funny. It's kind of interesting. I don't know where to say off of that other than I wish there was more to go on. Like, did the doll do anything? Or did...
Well, I'm sure...
How was it cursed? Like, what happened?
I'm sure the most it would do, because voodoo is about belief. So how much you believe is how much you're going to see.
That's true.
So possibly the doll didn't do anything. It was just his belief that she actually cursed him.
And I'm curious about this nurse. Like, why would she want to put a voodoo curse? There's more to this story.
Yeah, there's more to this story. But, it's got to be he did something wrong to her.
Right. It always is.
Or he was a dick and she just didn't like that.
Dick.
It's a dick.
Say it right. Dick.
Or it could be because he was cheating.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's
yeah.
Good call, BoomDoom.
Yeah.
Good call.
Yeah. Okay, we have the famous Amityville Horror. Okay, so it actually was about Ronald DeFeo actually did kill his family.
Okay, I don't dispute that, but the rest of it I dispute.
He actually did kill his family. But, yeah... And then weird things happened supposedly 1 year later when the Lutzes bought the place. That there was supposed paranormal activity that scared the shit out of them, and they left in 30 days.
However, though, the lawyer did come out, the lawyer of DeFeo, the lawyer of the son that killed DeFeo,
yeah.
Okay. Yeah. He did openly admit that he was in cahoots with the Lutzes.
Yeah.
To create this huge story, and it wasn't necessarily to get DeFeo off or to plead any kind of hidden scheme. It was ultimately 100% to make money off of it, even so much to where he offered to split 50-50 to the Lutz's family with the proceeds that they earned off of making this movie. But everything past the DeFeos actually dying has all been a crock, a hoax.
But it's one of the most iconic movies of paranormal, supernatural activity.
I mean, come on. Yeah. I mean, I'm sure the lawyer was listening to DeFeo's story going, are you, like, this would be ultimate. I mean, I'm sure he must have been a horror fan to be like, this, I see dollar signs.
But the other part that blows this story out of the water is because nothing happened after the Lutzes left.
See?
So if supposedly this house was on cursed Indian land and blah 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 and the spirits didn't want anyone there, it would still be continuing.
Exactly. Because it wouldn't have left with DeFeo.
Yeah, no, that kind of thing is almost forever. But see, nothing happened after the Lutzes. So that's what's in dispute. Did the shit actually happen besides the murders?
I say no, because the lawyer did come out and say, no, I was in cahoots with the Lutzes to make money. This was a pure money-making kind and we all fell for it. Yeah. We all fell for it.
But the movie is freaking scary.
Oh, I do not dispute that at all. Yeah. I 100% agree because I just do.
The movie is scary shit, okay?
It is.
And it was... some actual good effects from 1979. I mean, they were doing real effects to practical effects, I mean.
Right.
There was no CGI, none of that stuff. They did actual practical effects that they pulled off very well, and it's still scary to this day.
It is. Even
the 1979 version.
Right. Yeah, definitely.
Because the new version, it's not so scary, other than we're scared of Ryan Reynolds.
I'm not scared of Ryan Reynolds.
When he
I
gets
think
nutty.
I do apologize. Ryan Reynolds really didn't belong in that movie. No
Yeah.
matter how much he tried to play that role,
but he still had the George look.
No, that's
he still
true.
Had the
That's
George
true.
look,
But
except George wasn't cut like that,
right, and that's true. And I even read something that during the filming, he didn't want to associate with the children because he wanted to stay in character and didn't want to feel guilty for how he had to portray the character.
Well, plus he needed the kids scared.
Right.
They're supposed to be scared.
But you know what? I'm sorry. He's a great actor. Don't get me wrong. I love looking at him. But in that movie, he totally made Amityville Horror like palatable for me, like not so scary.
And it wasn't, because the most scary parts were watered down.
So watered down.
The only scary part in that movie was the little ghost girl. When she put the babysitter's finger through her forehead, that was freaking scary.
See, and that's primarily, I think the most scary part for me in the 79 version was when the little girl was talking to
Jody.
To Jody in her bedroom, and the rocking chair's going, and then the mom walks in. I mean, I was gone. I was like pissing my pants right there. I was.
Well, that and the famous priest blessing the house where the flies come and the voice, "Get out."
Yeah,
they didn't have that in the 2005 version. It wasn't scary. It's like right up there with The Fog. The remake of The Fog was watered down to a ghost love story. Hello? Please.
Yes, we care about ghosts and love.
Please.
Oh, Psycho from 1960, another loosely Ed Gein inspired film of the crimes of the Wisconsin murders. There have been various follows up of the movie. It's an absolute must watch. However,
the original,
of course, the original. I said 1960.
Yes.
And that's how it's loosely based, I believe, is because of the whole mother-son relationship, and again, it's another warped mother with her beliefs and view system screwing up another kid.
Yeah. Which also, there's Deranged goes with that, because it's another Ed Gein. He does the same thing. He keeps his dead mom.
Right.
His dead mom's telling him what to do.
Right.
So, yes.
If you keep a dead body in your house, you're always going to get haunted, no matter what.
But this wasn't haunted because it was
all up in the head. Yeah. I mean, even though the dead body was there, all he saw was he was seeing himself.
Illusions.
Yeah.
Good word. Very good word.
Girl Next Door.
Okay, this was, The Girl Next Door, based on the Indiana State crime. Sylvia Likens was tortured and killed by Gertrude Baniszewski in 65.
Yeah, 1965.
Okay,
so Sylvia's parents apparently were away.
And this was like a neighbor.
Yeah,
neighbor taking care of her,
like a
and
family friend / neighbor. But the parents were like traveling artists of some performing artists, and asked that their daughters, both daughters, be watched by Gertrude. Unknowingly,
Gertrude got it in her head to torture these girls.
But not just torture them, she had the neighbor kids
come in and help
torture. And when we say torture, imagine every way possible that you can torture.
Like, they had her strung up in the basement, and they would strip her down, and the boys would cut her. Gertrude would burn her with cigarettes and beat her.
Yeah, and and even let her children rape them.
Yeah.
What else?
But it was daily. It was for many hours every day.
But however, back in 1965, this real life case was called the most terrible crime ever committed in the state of Indiana. that they had seen.
Oh, Sylvia's parents were circus performers.
Circus performers. I knew they were some sort of performers.
Circus performers. So this was like...
Yeah, but the Girl Next Door movie, it wasn't really like a... Well, yeah, it was based off a true story, but I think it was like it was pretty spot on for the details that were given in the real case to the actual movie. Yeah. And I believe, didn't one of the girls survive or no?
Yeah, she killed one. She killed the oldest.
Yeah, I think the oldest died of starvation and infection from a wound she incurred.
Yeah.
Neighbors get flipped up already.
You fell in love with a unicorn. It was beautiful, then sad, then sadder. I laughed, I cried, I puked in my mouth a little.
You are listening to Sinister Sisters on EMZT Radio.
It starts with words and escalates to tears. How did I get here? The room spins and my vision blurs. I can't make out your words. I look at you to analyze
by witchcraft, souls to read. Hell in her eyes and blood on the snow. Ageless is evil. The queen of darkness reigns. Thunder shakes the mountains. Her kingdom remains. Do as thou wilt, she speaks the law. A siren song, 10 soldiers fall. Ageless is evil. The queen of darkness reigns. Thunder shakes the mountains. Her kingdom remains. Ageless is evil. The queen of darkness reigns. Thunder shakes the mountains. Her kingdom remains. Her kingdom
Once upon a time, caught in the middle of an ominous stare, with the ghosts and a vixen floating in the air. Nothing could shake or break my glare, 'cause my imagination is my fixation, slipping into this coma-like state, so I could step into the visions I create, shutting out every single word you say, 'cause your voice is molasses, say it to the masses. There's not much I consider real. Mentality's my shield, my safety from the normal routines and sick monotony dreams are my reality. Pretending I can scream because I can't stand living in a world of logical reasoning. To the abyss on my own, to my mystic cryptic home. Talk to red in the escaping the training monologues, back to the realm where I belong. My demon shines, been returned, I live in fiction. Caught in a similar venomous trap, forced to engage in a vapid app, feeling my mind seep deep into a cracks to avoid the evasion of common conversation. Sweet, lucid, violent memories are my entire being.
As zombies began to outnumber humans, well, that's when you had to cut all emotional ties. If the girls in your neighborhood are now fucked up little monsters, well, maybe it's time to stop driving carpool.
This is Lucan Wolf, and you're listening to EMZT Radio with your hosts, the Sinister Sisters.
Okay, The Conjuring. Another case from Ed and Lorraine Warren.
I'm on the fence about them too. Those two.
Yeah.
However, I did not know that The Conjuring was based off of a whole account of multiple experiences that they had.
Yeah.
I didn't realize I was in the belief that it was like a part 2 of Amityville. I didn't really know that it was more
It was another case.
Well, no, it was like a conglomerate of all their kind of different cases.
Yeah.
But it was ultimately regarding a demon or a negative spirit that had followed them from case to case to case to case.
Well, she looks like the Grudge,
Yeah.
but with the eyes open.
Yeah.
And not the huge mouth. And not screaming. Well, actually screaming, I guess. And coming out
I
of the
didn't
bed.
see the movie. I did not see it.
Yeah.
I'm just not.
Oh my god. That is a creepy face.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah.
I like this one better. Okay, so The Haunting in Connecticut, 2009. The Real Fear team investigates the truth behind the 2009 film. And yes, it's based off a true story. In the movie, a family moves to Connecticut, to a Connecticut home while their cancer-stricken son receives treatment at a nearby hospital. The house is haunted, and those spirits are pissed, as in violently pissed off. Which is a real shame because having a kid with cancer is enough of a burden.
Yeah. Well, plus this house was a former funeral parlor and mortuary.
Right. So in real life, the family of Carmen Snedeker
Yeah.
reported incidents in their Connecticut home during the 1980s. And again, it's another one of those Ed and Lorraine Warren cases.
But they weren't there.
No, but John Zaffis investigated the case along with Ed and Lorraine Warren.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Yeah, and
but
as
in the movie, they weren't in it.
No, but I'm thinking they investigated the incident. I don't think they were, the time it happened. I think it was an after the fact investigation.
Oh, okay.
Haven't I seen this movie?
And actually, Lorraine Warren has been quoted to say that the actual case was much, much more scarier than the movie could ever have been.
Well, of course. I mean, they can't put all the scary stuff because then they can't get a rated R rating to be seen in the theaters. It would have to be rated X, which does not
Yeah, but how does Paranormal Activity get it? I mean,
just probably the gore factor, the effects.
Plus, it was pretty sad.
Well, it is pretty sad because it was a real, like you said, it was a real funeral home. Why the heck were they putting bodies in the walls?
Yeah.
Yeah, and with the marking, of course somebody's going to get cursed.
Well, it was kind of like, wasn't it supposed to be
safe marking?
No, not a safe marking. They were collecting trapped souls.
Yes.
For a certain purpose. I can't remember what that purpose was.
And that poor
That's why the ghosts were so pissed, is because they were actually whoever trapped them there. It was an actual spell that they used to curse the spirits there, but it was for a purpose. I can't remember, but anyways, it was based off of a true family and a true story.
But that poor boy that got stuck in that fire thing.
Yeah, and he had cancer, and he was dying of cancer already. So why not just
No,
Yeah.
but I meant the little boy that got trapped in that fire thing that the guy had to set free.
Right.
And break all the walls.
Right.
Oh, and introducing into our little commentary here is
BoomDoom.
BoomDoom.
Hi.
Which is more educated on these films than I would like him to be. Auntie Bane.
You're welcome.
Actually, I'm not sorry. This is the next generation of horror fans.
Yep.
Yeah, she tried with me and she failed.
Oh, well, that doesn't look that good because she's floating.
I like this.
We'll read it. It's your turn.
So it's The Strangers, 2008. Now this was very loosely based. The director was inspired by some of the serial murders from Charles Manson. And there was also these incidents taking place near where he lived as a kid of a girl coming up to a house and asking for someone who wasn't there. And then keep coming back a couple of times. And then to the houses that were empty because people were on vacation, they were broken in and robbed. But the strangers actually coming in and killing people, he just took that from the stories of Charlie Manson and his group.
Yeah, because they were charged with killing 9 people because it was more than just the famous Tate murder.
Yeah, they did a bunch of home invasions,
right,
where they were partying, torturing, killing.
Yeah, and they did it because they could. It wasn't anything than
to prove that they could. Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't anything more than.
And that was the famous line of the movie. Why are you doing this to us? Well, because you were home.
Yeah, basically.
It's like a murder block party, but instead it's a murder party.
Right.
Oh, I want to talk about this one because this pretty much as a child I remember hearing about this, but not really understanding about it.
There it is.
And that was the movie The Entity in 1982. And the reason why I remember this is because I want to say I watched it back in the day on a Phil Donahue or some kind of talk show like that. Mm-hmm. And remember being really frightened at that time because I didn't think that I didn't think ghosts could really hurt people. Mm-hmm. But this is Barbara Hershey stars that is a young mother who gets raped and tortured by unseen otherworldly beings in the genuine scary 1982 movie. So what happened is back in 1974, a woman named Doris Blyther claimed she was assaulted by invisible entities. Well, a lot of people laughed off of this and thought she was crazy. 2 paranormal investigators named Barry Taff and Carrie Gaynor actually found evidence of strange goings-on in her home. However, they included such things as balls of light floating about.
That's an orb.
And that's where they got the whole electrical charge thing in the movie. They were actually just like orbs. Mm-hmm. But she was, and wasn't it where her son actually had his arm broken. Mm-hmm. And when they were filming the movie, the character's son, the actor playing
the son part, got his arm broken during filming.
Coincidence, or
Ghost.
Or is the movie coming to life?
But the thing is that's all that was her whole deal was. It was just that she was
assaulted,
claiming that she was assaulted and raped by spirits. And I remember this impacting me as a child. I really do, because that's when I started to believe in, oh my gosh, ghosts can really
because you were attacked.
Okay, yeah, I was attacked.
Okay, that's another story.
That's another story.
That's a scary story.
That's my own personal, it is true. I have experienced it firsthand. Nothing like rape or anything, but...
And the entity kept following her because she kept moving.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know how...
It even followed her, like when she was in a car and things like that. Whatever or whomever, or
just whatever it was.
She picked this spirit up somewhere, obviously,
and it just wouldn't let her go. But according to the book, the attacks eventually became less and less because I think she became less and less scared.
Mm-hmm. Well, on top of it, that's how I got into learning about poltergeists. Now, poltergeists aren't actual spirits. No. They're man-made from unresolved anger, fear, sadness, sorrow, despair. It's actually an energy force that we can create on our own, even without trying, just because of such building up such negative volatile energy within ourselves, which I'm thinking the reason why maybe it dissipated, like all poltergeists, is people start to deal with their shit, their inner shit. So
instead
maybe
of running away,
instead of it's in your face now instead of being bottled up like a volcano.
Yeah. Exorcism of Emily Rose. Now, this was a famous German case. Anneliese Michel was possessed by demons, and exorcism took nearly a year to accomplish, but I don't think it worked because she still ended up dying.
Well, actually, with that, her symptoms were intense shaking, loss of control of her bodies, which led the doctors to diagnose her with grand mal seizures.
Yeah, because she
she
would have seizures.
Yeah, but however, her behavior progressed to attacking family members, drinking her own urine, and freaking out over religious artifacts or objects.
Yes.
So I guess the family eventually convinced priests to perform multiple exorcisms.
Over a year's time, though.
Over a year's time, but she ultimately died in 1976 of pneumonia before the actual last exorcism.
Yeah. So, and there was 40 exorcisms in the whole year.
But there's still a debate over, was she really possessed, because it was confirmed. It wasn't like, a front page news story.
No.
Her symptoms, I mean, come on, being violent towards your family, freaking out over religious objects, drinking your own piss.
And what does that explain? That she's mentally ill.
Yeah.
That's what they thought.
But she ultimately died of pneumonia.
Yeah.
Like pneumonia. It sounds like another exorcist where the kid, all he was really doing was just being violent and... telekinesis. That's a big deal. I'm sorry. Yeah. Telekinesis is a big deal. Yeah. But still, 40 exorcisms.
Yeah, 40 exorcisms in a year's time. But still, she deteriorated. She physically deteriorated.
Well, yeah.
To where she couldn't live. She couldn't survive. So.
I mean, yeah. But the symptoms described to where the doctors were like...
And in the movie, it's all done as a flashback because the priest that performed an exorcism on her was explaining how she was, and that he felt her story needed to be told.
Yeah, I'm sure, there's a whole, what is that called? Conversion?
Yeah.
Where, it must be an exorcism, and so everybody starts getting into the thought process, and all of a sudden starts seeing what they want to see, hearing what they want to hear. I really think that was a case of gone a little too far.
Now when you're in the woods, you could drink your own piss.
Oh, for survival, yes. For survival, if you're ever in the woods...
Drink your own piss!
You have to boil it first.
No, you don't.
You have to boil it.
No, you don't.
And plus, if you get bit by ants, just pee
You don't have to boil it, no.
Okay, I'd boil it.
Sure, it's acid, but... Not... Okay, Diana Creature.
Oh, The Possession, 2012. This movie is based on the real haunted Dybbuk box story.
That was bought on eBay.
Oh my gosh. See, I haven't seen this.
Oh yeah, this is with Jeffrey Dean Morgan, John Winchester.
Okay, so this is numerous owners of the box reported strange things happening to them on eBay. So are you looking for a box to keep your wine bottle safe? I remember hearing about this, but I don't know too much on it. Do you know? It's not in theirs.
Well, the movie was about a girl at a garage sale found this box that she liked, and she opened it, and it was all items from someone who had died.
How do you spell Dybbuk?
Dybukk. And as she opened the box, of course, opening the box of keeping something in releases the Dybbuk, and inside of you, which they did. I liked how they took her into an MRI or an X-ray scan, and it showed this little old lady was inside her. Yeah, It was nasty.
So actually, a Dybbuk is a restless, usually malicious spirit believed to be able to haunt and even possess the living.
It's
The
a
box
Jewish...
gained notoriety when it was auctioned on eBay with an accompanying horror story written by Calvin Mannis, and is the original inspiration for the 2012 film.
But then there was also another film that another independent film that was based like that somebody bought a ghost in a box off of eBay.
Oh my gosh.
Now, when you're trying to buy a box and somebody's trying to tell you something, and if they tried to tell you that and you're laughing at them, always believe somebody. When they say that it was an old lady died, they found it in the house, it has weird stuff's been going on since we had it, tell them that.
Right?
Oh, that's right up there with now houses that are for sale. On the sign it says, not haunted.
Right?
You stupid people buying houses that said not haunted.
So I not to change the subject, but I found more about the Dybbuk box. According to Mannis' story, he bought the box at an estate sale in 2003. Apparently, it belonged to a survivor of the Holocaust in Germany-occupied Poland named Havela, who had escaped to Spain and purchased it there before her immigration to the United States. Havela's granddaughter told Mannis that the box had been bought in Spain after the Holocaust. Upon hearing that the box was a family heirloom, Mannis offered to give the box back to the family, but the granddaughter insisted that he take it, saying that we do not want it. She told him the box had been kept in her grandmother's sewing room and was never opened because a Dybbuk was said to have lived inside of it.
Yeah, they trapped the Dybbuk inside the box.
But when he opened the box, what he found was it contained 2 1920s pennies, a lock of blonde hair bound with cord, a lock of black-brown hair bound with cord, a small statue engraved with the Hebrew word shalom, a small golden wine goblet, a dried rosebud, and a single candle holder with 4 octopus-shaped legs.
Mm-hmm. That's all items of the person possessed.
Are those different people that have been possessed, or
No,
just one
just
person?
one.
So apparently people kept getting rid of this box because once they got it, a lot of bad stuff happened.
Because they opened the box.
Yeah, of course they opened the box, but each person that had it apparently have been reporting strange phenomena that happened. Like,
of course.
Someone's mother suffered a stroke the same day that they got the box. Smells of cat urine or jasmine flowers and nightmares involving old hags accompany the box.
Yep.
Let's see. Claimed that the box caused lights to burn out in his house and his hair fall out. Let's see. Oh, he developed strange health problems, including hives, coughing up blood, head-to-toe welts.
Yep.
So apparently, though, the box was freshly resealed and hid in a secret location that will never be revealed again. So, hey.
Until some dumbass finds it and
Jumanji.
Does it again. Jumanji.
Total Jumanji moment there.
Yeah, it's going to happen again. Because people are stupid.
Right?
And why don't they engrave, like, on top of the box, do not open,
But what
because it's cursed, you know?
Well, again, Jumanji 2.
Yeah.
And what do they do?
Open the box.
Open the box.
Do not open the box. Hell will go free.
Yeah, that's like, wait till Christmas to open this. Yeah, right.
No.
Here comes Krampus. La 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 die. Jeez.
Oh, yeah, we watched Krampus.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was there.
Yeah.
Why couldn't the ghost get his girlfriend pregnant? 'Cause he had a Halloweenie.
This is a
Eaten
good one.
Alive?
Yeah.
Want some alligator-related horror flick? Eaten Alive, 1977. So what this is, it's from Toby Hooper.
Toby Hooper.
Toby Hooper. We have Carolyn Jones, who played Morticia Adams, about a Texas psycho who feeds his enemies or anyone that pisses him off to crocodile. The inspiration was Joe Ball, a real-life serial killer who had a penchant for serving his victims to crocs. Of course, Carolyn Jones wasn't really one of them.
Um,
However, where was this in? Texas?
In Texas.
They have crocodiles in Texas?
No. Unless he lives near the Gulf. No, not even then.
I wonder if they were his pets?
Yeah, he probably bought them. Now, that's one thing serial killers are about. Some of them are about getting rid of the evidence of their crimes. So, what's the other one? Feeding them to pigs? Or
Snatch, yeah.
Or this, where the guy has a bunch of crocodiles.
Seriously, it totally works. I mean, no evidence. Apparently, a pig can cut through bone like butter.
In 8 minutes.
Like butter?
Like butter.
So imagine a crocodile tearing through a body. I mean, you're not going to find it.
Yeah.
But there we go. Eaten alive.
Now, that's like the zombie road, because if it was near a road, then you could call it the zombie road, because it's like, you know how alligators just want to eat you? It's like cannibals, and they're like zombies, because they eat you. They eat you. So you could go zombie road.
True. However, I think crocodiles and alligators eat meat. Humans are meat. Bon appetit. I just made that up.
Good.
Now, this was a messed up movie. Fire in the Sky, 93.
Wasn't there an earlier version?
No, it was set in...
Oh, 1975. Okay, this happened...
75 or the 80s, early
No,
80s.
it was 75. It was.
So it was based on a story of Travis Walton, who said he was taken by aliens.
Abducted.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, and apparently he was abducted for 5 days.
Yeah.
And
he came back.
And
nobody could find him in all that time. They couldn't find him at all.
Yeah, I mean, there were multiple searches and everything, but when he did come back, wasn't he the one really to say that he was probed and implanted?
He gave the story, and of course, nobody believes alien abduction. No.
Right.
I mean, back then, 75...
But he was the one that really got it out there that the whole probing, aliens like to probe in orifices.
And they also torture.
And, of course, torture. Guinea pig experimenting.
Yeah.
I think that was his story. But apparently that was his story on what he did for 5 days.
Yeah. But they couldn't dispute it because with the...
Polygraph?
Polygraph.
Polygraph
Okay, with the polygraph, it said he was telling the truth.
Yeah, but a polygraph...
But back then, polygraph wasn't really...
No, we've learned now that the polygraph is full of shit now.
Can be beaten, yeah. But at the time, it backed up his story.
Well, that's the thing, because there was no evidence pointing that he was abducted, so there's 5 unaccounted days.
But where did he go?
He went to Vegas, man. What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas.
Not anymore. It gets put on YouTube.
Okay, but back then there was no YouTube. But yeah.
But where did he go? See, that's the thing. Nobody could explain where he went.
Yeah, but you get lost for 5 days in the freaking woods,
Well, aliens could be real, and some couldn't. It's probably sometimes some people probably could be lying. Sometimes aliens could actually be real, because if you see a scar on somebody's head, you cut off all their hair, do a brain scan, look for a chip. Jeez.
Get some special sunglasses.
Get some special sunglasses.
No,
Rowdy.
They could be
Rowdy,
real.
Rowdy Piper.
Yep.
Say that 5 times fast.
Yeah.
I know you did it. You did it.
Yeah.
No, I'm not disputing it. It's just with all the... I mean, I was a big X-Files fan. Don't get me wrong. Mm-hmm. Don't get me wrong. But, with this story especially, there was no evidence backing him up whatsoever.
No. But where did he go? He wasn't found until he came back. So that's just what I'm saying.
With a really neat story. So now we've got the Mothman Prophecy 2002. Gotta love some Richard Gere there, right?
Which was based
off of an encounter with the Mothman, a winged creature, appears in West Virginia and seems to be a harbinger of disastrous events, like a bridge collapsing. In the late 60s, actual Mothman sightings occurred in Point Pleasant, West Virginia, one of which predated the collapse of the bridge that killed 46 people. So, okay, with this Mothman prophecy thing, okay, I saw the movie, and what was interesting, because wasn't there more to it than just professing the, what was that line from the movie about the tragedy on the Ohio?
Yeah, that was about the bridge collapsing.
Okay.
But the Mothman was telling other people of tragedies happening all around the world.
Okay, so that's what I was trying to remember was this was a universal kind of thing.
Yeah.
And it being a winged creature kind of symbolic for guardian angels or like,
but not really, because it scared the shit out of people. And it hurt some people when to see it. Either the people were so terrified that they couldn't comprehend what they were looking at, and they came up with whatever image they could come up with.
Maybe it was kind of like a rogue Grim Reaper, because the Mothman seemed to get off on the tragedy happening, because when the bridge started collapsing that you heard the weird psychedelic kind of laughing. Mm-hmm. Like the but it's kind of like a psychological warfare that he would try and tell these people, some disaster that
is about to happen.
That's going to happen, that you can't do nothing but sit there and watch.
Yeah. But he also liked to hurt people, because in this movie, some people were injured. Like there was a boy that had a bloody nose. Another guy had bruising all over him. Things like that. So yeah, this Mothman, whatever it was, it got off on freaking people out to the point of terror, and also scaring them with actual physical harm. Well, because he couldn't be stopped.
There have been a lot of other movies with those type of characters, like the Mothman, like in Odd Thomas, those dark creatures that. When you see them gathering...
The
Bodaks. When you see them gathering, that's when you know if you were able to see them having psychic powers. But when you see a gathering of these Bodaks, some big kind of violent event was going to happen. Yeah. Also, seems like a spin-off could be... Final Destination movies could be a spin-off of this kind of thing.
Yeah.
Because that Final Destination, wasn't that death itself, like one kind of entity?
Well, yes, but they got away from him the first time.
Well,
so he was coming back the second time to get him.
Well, that's the thing. Play a little game, you know? I mean, obviously, only the Winchesters can double-cross death and be successful.
How could a huge moth be harmless? I mean, sure, it's a man... He has wings. How could he be a Mothman?
Oh, it's called Mothman because apparently it had like a humanoid type body and it was furry.
And it had these
big giant moth-shaped wings.
Yeah.
That's why it got the name Mothman. And didn't it have like red eyes?
Yeah.
Red glowy eyes?
Yeah.
Okay, but how could a moth literally be harmless?
Okay,
all they want to eat is clothes.
No, it's not a moth. It's not a giant moth.
It was just called Mothman because of the resemblance of a moth.
But their eyes are black. Did he have...
Sweetheart, you're killing me, Smalls. It's only because it looks like a man. No, I'm sorry. I couldn't resist. Mrs. Swan, it looking like a man. It looking like a moth.
Wait, what's next?
Okay. What's next?
Oh, no.
Should we talk about that one?
No.
I never saw this.
Please, no.
Okay.
But apparently wasn't it one... Well, we're talking about it now because now I'm spooked. Or intrigued. I see here that it was part of The Conjuring, or the opening scene of The Conjuring. Was this one of the cursed objects that the Warrens picked up?
Yeah.
I wonder if this is the cursed doll.
This is an actual doll, Annabelle. Well, this is not this doll, but there is an actual Annabelle doll in the Warren Museum.
Yeah, but isn't it like a Raggedy
Ann doll?
Yep.
And what that did was it would appear in different places of the house.
Like, it would be sitting in the wrong place.
Did you watch this movie?
Oh, no. No, I.
How do you know? I had never watched this movie, but I didn't know about that in the movie.
Actually, I have by myself.
And
in
the
liar.
And we're talking about Annabelle, and they did try to get rid of it, and it did come back.
Yeah, never try to get rid of it.
It always moved around, and bad things would happen if they, like, were negative towards this doll.
Oh.
But this Annabelle. So Annabelle is one of the cursed dolls or possessed dolls. That its function is to break down people's resistance, so it can take their souls, or possess them, or kill them. I mean, and the ultimate thing is it needs to cause death.
Well, and this is what I didn't know about the Warrens, but apparently they had a whole... They currently have a lot of cursed objects from their adventuring in Ghostland.
Mm-hmm.
But that reminds me of the Friday the 13th TV series.
That's probably
the cursed objects.
That's probably where it was somewhat was based on, because the Warrens Museum is down in the basement, and it's sort of been blessed to keep everything kept away, like
binded,
bound. Yeah,
bound.
Annabelle is in a display glass case, and there is a big sign that says "Do not touch."
Right. What's your 2 cents?
Well, and also there's been reports of the people that go down there, of like at night when they're closed, the security guards would hear like crying of the owner.
No.
This is a different thing that we're talking about. But yes, I remember watching that video. Yes, BoomDoom and ScorpioGirl do watch YouTube videos of ghosts caught on CCTV.
What also happened was there is a story that someone who visited the Warren Museum was making fun of another doll called Robert. And while they were driving away, the couple was in a car in the accident because they were on a motorcycle. The guy died, but the girlfriend lived.
See, I'm sorry. When Chucky came out, was the end of my childhood in believing my dolls were all, even my Barbies. I didn't trust my Barbies anymore.
Yeah.
When Chucky came out, I was like, bitches, you've got to go. Like, I got rid of I think when Child's Play came out, and now to learn that Child's Play was actually a cursed doll. Yeah. I ain't having it.
Childhood.
Yeah, my childhood ended abruptly due to Auntie Bane trying to convert me to horrorism and failed massively because she didn't know she had
such a pussy for a sister.
Yep. Pussycat. Don't know how to love it.
Yeah, listen to your boy.
This is a dark side I'm not willing to
listen to your boy. He can handle it, sort of.
Nah, you're totally scaring me, Auntie Bane.
You're welcome, and oh my god.
What's this one?
Can we skip the ghost
Wolf
woman?
Creek.
Wolf Creek.
2005.
Based on actual serial killers in Australia.
Oh, great.
Based on 2 men, Ivan Milat and Bradley John Murdoch, and their crimes. So apparently 2 British women and an Australian man find themselves stranded in the outback after what? Their car breaks down?
The old saying.
That was part of our other segment.
Right. So apparently a truck driver kidnaps and tortures them, which the real life story is a fusion of 2 hitchhike killers, Milat and Murdoch. During the 90s is when this really happened.
In Australia.
See, what did we tell you listeners that have listened to us before, the whole 2 of you, about
we got more
breaking down? Oh, it says we have more, but I'm sure it's 2 diehard fans that listen to it over and over again, or maybe that's just me and someone else.
And somebody else. No.
So yeah.
Yeah, and in the movie they had it for one guy, Mick Taylor. He was doing it to preserve Australia from foreigners.
Well, didn't he know that Australia was a British prison colony?
think he might have been the leftovers from that colony.
Yeah, but why are you killing
non-Australians?
Non-native human life? I mean, the Brits kind of like put you there for a reason.
Woe be unto him who opens one of the 7 gateways to hell, because through that gateway, evil will invade the world.
You are listening to Sinister Sisters on EMZT Radio.
Okay, so we have An American Haunting, 2005. By the way, this movie freaked me out, and if you've seen it, you understand that you really don't get the full story till the last 5 flipping minutes of the freaking movie.
Yeah. It was pretty much a letdown. I mean...
it was a letdown, so to speak, that it was, like, not a supernatural, to horror story as much as real-life psychosis really ran astray. Another one of those...
About the Bell Witch.
So this movie takes place, actually, during the 1800s, about a witch that curses the Bell family, particularly targeting Bell's daughter, Betsy. More importantly, it marks Sissy Spacek's return to horror.
Carrie!
Right? They're all gonna laugh at you! Anyways, the movie is based on the real-life legend of the Bell Witch, who supposedly tortured a family in Tennessee. And this was supposedly before President Andrew Jackson took office, and he was actually very intrigued and interested in this legend, that he investigated it, but
couldn't handle it.
Couldn't handle it and turned chicken shit. I'm with you there.
Yeah.
But it's interesting how the movie took it as the Bell family, but it was really about the Bell Witch.
Yeah.
So apparently, see, and I don't know how this ties in.
That was the end of the movie. It was about the Bell father.
See, and this is the thing that really, it's hard to take the whole true story from the actual movie, because the actual movie seems like it was taken from a true story of a very sick father.
Yeah.
Okay, so how do you get a
witch.
Bell Witch?
How do you get a witch out of that?
Torturing a Tennessee family?
Which it wasn't. It was just the father torturing his family.
Unless the reason why Andrew Jackson took such offense is because he found out the real story was a really sick bastard of a father.
Yeah.
Yeah, this movie, I still get creeps. Like, I'm getting inside goosebumps, like one of those, like, not pleasant kind of feelings, because the ending was so traumatic. I think my jaw was, like, on the floor, and I was, like, I swear I think I wanted to vomit.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, vomit was the first kind of intense sensation after... Yeah, no, I don't recommend this movie to anybody.
No,
especially if you have a...
I mean, this is another one of these movies that have been advertised as a supernatural movie, but then the ending is not really supernatural. I mean, it is, but it's not.
It's kind of like the taking the piss of, the piss of Supernatural, because it's one of those conversion, again, another conversion theory where, you know, someone's saying that this shit's going on. The rest of the family is in terror now. But come to find out, it's really something really horrible and...
Or what it is, it's an echo of the horrible event. That's what it comes down to, because it wasn't really supernatural, but it was just an echo.
I think the supernatural part of it was more of like the poltergeist thing, because she was that little girl was being tortured in a way you thought was supernatural, but to come to find out, maybe you're right, she was reliving the echo of her father.
Yeah, because it wasn't a full supernatural event. It stopped after it played out.
Yeah, but I liked how in the end, though, I liked the direction on the end where it would flash the scenes of what you did see as the supernatural, seeing what was really happening to her.
Which was the father.
Was the father being the sickest bastard
ever.
Yeah. So I like the direction on that. I like the twist on that.
Yeah.
However, very much let down, but I don't see how a Bell Witch torturing a family can be taken from this.
Yeah. But that's like what I'm saying. These supernatural events were happening,
but maybe like you said,
but it was just an echo. It was
just
an echo.
Yeah, I like that better,
because like I said, it stopped after the event played itself out during a time.
Right. And this movie, for supposedly being horror, I could really see, and I've probably heard of this kind of shit really going on, not in the 1800s, like this year kind of thing. Yeah. There are sick motherfuckers out there. That's why I am not a horror fan, because people, listen to me, I'm not a horror fan because true life is horror enough.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not even kidding. You don't need to make real life scarier than it really is. But go ahead.
But that's why I like these horror movies, because the stories are worse than what we're experiencing.
The real stories are worse than the horror movies. The horror movies are watered down the real life.
But it's other people having this issue and not us.
I'm sorry. This is another reason why I am introverted, because people's shadows scare the piss out of me sometimes. Yes, I'm that timid. People's shadows, I'm like, nope. No.
Yeah. Okay, Open Water. 2003. Based on the true story of a real-life couple, Tom and Eileen Lonergan, who they were left behind. They were all on this diving trip with a whole group of people, and they were the last ones to come up from the dive, and the whole diving group was gone and left them behind. And they spent days out there trying to cross the water to get to land, and they were hunted by sharks. I mean, sharks, they were in such severe shark-infested waters. I mean, it was scary alone, just knowing that sharks are there, and they're cold. The water is freezing cold. So they're trying to keep from having hypothermia. They have nothing to eat. They can't drink the water.
See, and this is the thing. How were they left out there?
They were left behind.
In 1998, how was this couple, this newly married couple?
Yeah.
Or just a married couple? How do you miss roll call before the boat takes off?
Yeah.
Like, people, it's called roll call for a reason.
Yeah.
You get on the boat, you get off the boat. You get back on the boat, oh, hey, we're missing two people.
Yeah,
see, days. And here's the thing. Their bodies were never recovered.
Were never found because sharks ate them. I mean, or the sharks ate them, or they disappeared down a
Davy Jones locker.
Davy Jones locker went to the other side. They were never found. The only way they knew that they were missing was that their gear was left on the ship, and the people in charge found it, and they're like, "Whoops. Oh shit."
See, and that's the thing. This is actually more common than you would believe.
Yeah.
There have been tons of cruise ship horror stories of people actually going missing and not being really discovered that they're missing until, the cruise is over.
Yeah.
So,
and the whole movie was about the terror that this couple was trying to survive, and eventually they didn't survive.
And see, here's the thing. You gotta know that's all interpretation, because number one, their bodies were never found.
Yeah, so
number two, who else was there to
know what they were going through?
To know what the frick was going on? Like, really? Did a bunch of sharks get them, or did they just die and they're at the bottom of the ocean or the sea or whatever?
But if they were the thing is, if they were picked up by another boat, because in that area, I mean, Australia's Great Barrier Reef, everybody goes to the Barrier Reef. They want to see all the reef. They want to see the reef. It's like the most famous reef.
But see, if it was a sea diving expedition, here's the thing. Like, don't you think if it was infested with sharks or whatever the flip it what, don't you think there wouldn't be expeditions, or these people should be professionals? Or
no, on the dive, the people in charge would bring things to scare away the sharks. It'd be anything from like some sort of a sonic thing, or they would have those electric
shockers
or something.
Tasers.
Something. Don't tase me, bro.
Anyways,
something during the dive they would have such things, but of course that would be missing after the crew leaves. So.
It's a good story to tell, if they were American, the American consulate, or wherever these people came from. It's a great story a great rendition of what could have happened. So, I don't know. Yeah. I never watched this movie. It didn't really interest me. I don't like the water. I'm pretty much a pussy in all aspects of fear. Like, I live by fear.
Yeah.
And I don't mean to, but...
I'm with you, Mom.
Thanks, Doom.
But he tries to face it until he can't take it.
Me, I'm just like,
you just
don't
like,
watch
no.
it, don't look at it, don't see it, don't think about it.
Oh, what was the other movie? Invoked.
Oh my.
Invoked. You couldn't handle that movie.
I could not handle it, and poor ScorpioGirl couldn't even have her hand held by BoomDoom, BoomDoom, blah, 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 blah. Because why? Why couldn't I hold your hand?
You freak that out of me.
Apparently, when I scream and jump.
She jumps like a volcano.
But good thing Bane was there.
Because apparently I don't jump as much.
Oh my goodness. And yes, you did warn me, but it seemed...
I did warn you.
It seemed really hokey. I thought, oh, it's another hokey movie.
Yeah, that's another found footage movie.
Yeah, and you know what? I should have known when you told me it was a found footage movie. Blair Witch. Did that movie not get me to move?
You moved out of the woods. You were living in the woods when that movie came out.
I was, and that movie,
and
I saw that movie.
Out.
I saw that movie, and the next day I'm like, nope, I'm gone.
We even had to move all her shit out of the house before sundown. She was panicking when the sun was lowering in the sky.
Hurry! I don't need it! Just leave it!
Yeah, she was panicking.
Yeah.
And we got out of the woods just as the sun went down.
Yeah, Blair Witch, you got me. You got me right here. Yeah. You got me.
But then...
line and sinker, you got me.
Invoked was a major example of one of our horror movie survival rules.
Right? Everyone they broke.
Yeah, they broke everything.
Everyone. And they were Irish. Scottish.
Yeah, Irish.
They were Irish, first of all.
Number one. They went on Halloween night to a haunted town in an abandoned hotel where there was murders that took place.
But it was all over. Was it what happened to the village? It was the village. It had something to do with the village.
It was a cursed village.
No, but it was a reason why it was cursed. Oh my gosh, hold on. Pause.
No, we'll just edit this out.
Okay. Invoked. It was something about a man and a woman.
Yeah, husband and wife and their kids. Oh, and they made their own Ouija board to contact the spirits on Halloween night.
But it was something else. An abandoned hostel. It was an abandoned...
Oh, no, because where they were at was where they put the criminals were buried to keep the criminals there.
A little story, though. That movie was filmed in 3 days.
It's one of the found footage independent horror films. It was really good.
But it was something about the village, and something. You're right. There was some kind of curse on the village, and at the abandoned hostel, a man, a woman, and their children were there, and the woman ended up killing.
No, the man.
The man
killed the children, her, and killed himself.
Okay, and then But anyways, it was a curse. The place was cursed. It was haunted because a lot of shit went on.
Yeah. And they summoned it. They invoked it. They summoned it on Halloween.
Sex, drugs.
They were sexing, drugsing. Yeah. And when they tried to say goodbye, the spirit wouldn't let them say goodbye. Oh,
yeah, and they didn't officially end the session.
They didn't close
it.
The session because the spirits wouldn't let them.
Right, and on top of it, every time there was a knock, let's investigate the knock behind that closed door.
Oh, yeah, that's one of the rules. Do not go when you hear a sound. Do not investigate the sound.
Oh, and number 2, when one person would actually see the flippin' spirit, wouldn't say anything, wouldn't be like, oh, hey guys, I just saw something really creepy, and get the fuck out of there.
No, yeah, they stayed.
But I liked how the direction in the film, at the very beginning, before you actually start seeing the spirits, they were like cigarette burn kind of flashes.
Yeah.
They broke every flippin' rule.
Yeah.
Every flippin' rule.
So, of course, they deserve to all die.
Yeah, that's just... Yeah. Sorry about it. You kind of didn't pay attention to our podcast at all.
We could have saved you.
We could have saved you from even going. Yeah. Little fucktards. Anyways, I'm sorry. People get me upset. I'm here to help educate. More useless stats on my hands. No, I'm kidding. I'm not that all powerful. Or am I? No, I mean... Is there any more true stories behind it all? Preferably ones I've seen. What? The town that dreaded sundown.
This was during the time of the slasher movies in the 70s. Serial killer in Texarkana was killing people, called the Phantom Killer, back in the 40s. He was never caught. So,
oh wait, the town that dreaded sundown, that was based off of the Zodiac Killer.
Yeah.
This was based off of the Zodiac. This was the movie that was made based off of the Zodiac Killer.
I'm not sure.
Yes. Remember they did a whole documentary about it.
Okay.
That we watched.
Right.
So the town that dreaded sundown. This was actually the city. This was an adaptation because they didn't get all of the details right, but they got enough of the scary bits and pieces of it.
Yeah.
But the town that dreaded sundown. This was actually based off of the Zodiac Killer. Well, this was one of the movies.
Yeah.
Based off the Zodiac Killer, but this was involving the actual town he was killing everybody in.
Texarkana,
yeah.
And he was never found because he was probably for one...
It's the 1940s, number one.
1940s, so nobody really paid attention.
But not just not paying attention. Number 2, think about the technology back there to investigate. I mean, granted...
Very limited.
Granted, you probably did catch some bad guys, but you also probably caught a lot of innocent people, too. Not saying you didn't try, but we're talking about... Think of the technology. I mean, there obviously was DNA left behind.
Mm-hmm.
However, think about back in the 1940s where... you had fingerprints, but you weren't depositing DNA like you do now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And testing for DNA really didn't start coming out until the 90s.
90s, yeah.
Well, the 80s, it was that you could tell the blood type.
Yeah.
But actual DNA linking wasn't official until the 90s.
Yeah. 8 people were killed between February 22, 1946 and May 3rd, 1946. Texarkana, Texas. The border of Texas and Arkansas.
Mm-hmm. But this was... Yeah. So that's another one of got away with it?
And he was never found, never caught, got away with it.
See, and that's the thing. Did he die? Did he move on to another state? You know, you never know. that's one of those great mysteries right there. Is
that probably will never be found out.
Oh God, no. Yeah. There's unless it's like one of those kind of family legends passed down. We're never gonna hear it. It's like right up there with Who Shot Kennedy kind of thing. It's just not gonna happen. People are not gonna know.
Yeah. And then there was, it says meta sequel. Now they said it right. It was meta sequel instead of remake, because the meta sequel, well, it came out in 2014. The Town That Dreaded Sundown in 2014 was not a remake, because it was the killer was contacting the authorities saying he was continuing his work from the original story. So this was a sequel, not a remake, and that was cool.
And isn't it still to this day on the anniversary of the murders that the actual town does get together and
watch the town
that dreaded sundown as like a celebratory kind of...
Not a celebratory...
Well, not celebratory, but you know, that weird kind of our town's got a quirk and this is it. We had a bunch of movies, now we watch a movie about murders, and now we watch a movie. We get the whole town together and watch the movie that... Yeah, that's kind of quirky. That's really quirky for a town.
Kind of fucked up.
That's really, to think about it, that's really fucked up. Like, we had a bunch of murders here. It was a real big tragedy. But hey, come to our festival of
the murders. Yay!
Yeah, we're going to put up a big projection TV or...
In the cemetery.
People,
No, I think they did it at the drive-in is what they did.
I don't care who does that shit.
Fucked up people. Apparently Texas. Texas. You sick fuckers.
Sorry about it. That is right up there with sick fuckery. I'm sorry.
Oh God.
Yeah, that's pretty bad. That's only in America.
Only America. America.
Only in America.
I think that's all we'll be known for in Europe, is how sick America is, especially movie-wise.
Jesus Christ. Maniacs.
EMZT Radio is brought to you by Audible. Get a free audiobook download and a 30-day free trial at www.audibletrial.com/EMZT. Over 180,000 titles to choose from for your iPhone, Android, Kindle, or MP3 player. For you, the listeners of EMZT Radio Podcast, Audible is offering a free audiobook download with a free 30-day trial to give you the opportunity to check out their service. That's audibletrial.com/EMZT.
This is Lucan Wolf, and you're listening to EMZT Radio with your hosts, the Sinister Sisters.
Did we do Jaws yet?
No.
The real story behind Jaws?
No.
Do you people want to know that there is an actual true story behind this?
And no, there is the shark was not hunting the family.
Okay, so there wasn't one great white shark that kept coming to life with a beef for the Brody family. However, a series of great white attacks off the New Jersey shore. Yep, the New Jersey shore. In 1916, not when the reality show was going on, because that would have been a lot more hilarious. In 1960, that had sent people in complete panic and threatened tourism.
Yeah.
Because of these shark attacks that were happening.
Yeah.
So that's where Jaws came from. Again, not during the time that the Jersey Shore reality show was going on. You kind of missed a few.
But 1916.
1916. Great white attacks.
Now, there had to have been a reason for that. Because sharks don't attack people. I mean,
well, you got to think of geography too. I mean,
well,
as far as
there had to have been something in the water.
No. Just think about geography as well. 1916 versus now. I bet you there's going to be a big geographical difference of what the maybe it was 1916. Let's think about it. Maybe it was more shark friendly.
Shark.
I don't know how to put it into words, but you know what I'm trying to say. maybe the area was more shark friendly than.
Well, that's what I say. There had to have been something up with these sharks to attack people like that.
I'm going to go along with the theory that maybe the geography was more shark friendly, because we are talking 1916. So yeah, people were going on to the beaches and stuff like that, but I'm thinking it wasn't as developed or protected as it is now.
Right.
So I'm thinking maybe it was more of a habitat for the great whites, to where now it's not, because of civilization kind of branched out. That's my logical theory. Anyone is willing to comment down below? Oh, that. But yeah.
Wait, did we want to talk about this one?
I thought we did. Oh, we didn't?
We didn't.
Ooh, go for it, Bane.
The Hills Have Eyes. 1977. Which was based, actually, on the Sonny Bean family. Was that another Ireland family?
Scottish.
Was it Scottish?
No, you might be right. It might be Ireland. Let's get in here with that.
Well, it was in the 16th century. The Sonny Bean family was basically a family of cannibals.
Scottish.
Oh, this time it's Scottish.
Yes.
Okay. The Hills Have Eyes. So it's a family. I mean, we had talked about this on our road trip one. Family taking a trip, and they get directions to go on a dirt road.
But
as a shortcut.
Right.
And they meet up with a whole family of cannibals. And the cannibals are tormenting them, and they have a baby. The cannibals really want the baby because baby is good meat.
Love baby neck meat.
Yeah, baby neck meat. And these cannibals also would keep the women for breeding purposes.
Right.
And they love to kill the men because, the cannibals are more alpha. So
yeah, who knew?
So this, based on the Sonny Bean family, who over 25 years or more, they lived in the caves in Scotland, and they trapped and consumed an estimated 1,000 people before they were found and killed. So that's a scary thought, that a family over a period of decades would hunt and murder people near their house or near their home.
But the thing is the Beans, married and had 14 children. Many of which were product of incest, of course. But the family lived in caves. So I don't know how they were. I mean, just think about it. 15th, 16th century Scotland. Never been there.
Yeah.
But you got to think of the terrain. Like, who are they killing? Like, just travelers coming by. Like, or were they abducting?
Weren't there crusades and whatnot going on? There's always travelers.
But they were
during that time,
right?
But
they were cave people. But cave dwellers. But actually, to have killed over 1,000 people.
Yeah.
So see how the true story is based off of something in the 15th, 16th century, to Wes Craven taking it about a family stranded in Nevada.
Yeah.
Like, way to Americanize it.
Yeah.
Way to Americanize it.
Yeah.
Well, you also think in the 15th, 16th century in Scotland. I'm just going out on a limb here, but resources were very limited.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm only imagining. I've never been there. You could tell me differently, but I'm thinking eating human life was probably,
because hunting was probably scarce for animal meat.
I mean, the only thing I know about Scotland is sheep. I don't know why.
Because it's true.
Okay, I was figuring maybe it was something kind of like
it's
racist
true.
Or something.
They do a lot of they have livestock.
Like sheep and potatoes.
Sheep, potatoes, and cattle.
I don't know.
But probably where the Bean family were living, they didn't have that resource, or the animals were not there. So
I mean, obviously they're a legend enough for Wes Craven. Well, we're talking about Wes Craven getting.
He gets his ideas from some weird places,
right? And he twists them up pretty good, though.
But it paid off. I mean, it totally paid off. This was a freaky movie, because this is one of those family travel movies that you're like, oh no. No.
I'll have to admit it. Surprise, surprise, surprise. I've never seen this movie, but I've seen a lot of movies like this.
Yeah.
So I'm feeling like I don't need to watch this.
No, I don't think you should. I don't think you should. Because the terrain looks too much like where we live.
Yeah. Well, of course, it's Nevada. It's pretty much backyard, right?
Yeah. It looks too much. I mean, look, this looks like one of the washes
out
on the south side of town.
Or behind our house.
So,
yeah. True.
It's just, no. Like you said, no.
No, sweetie. Not happening.
What do you think?
I'm out of movies. I'm out of real stories.
Did we cover everything? I think we covered everything.
Yeah, I think we did. Well, this has been a blast of getting the real... See, and what am I about? Please, people, quit making real life more scarier. More scary than... Wait, quit making...
Movies. No, because we want the movies more scary than real life, because then our real life isn't so bad.
You know what? It's fucked up either way. Like, people, what is your malfunction? Seriously, what is your malfunction? You keep trying to make real life more scary. But now, this is what we've done. We have showed you how real life is actually more scary.
Yeah.
Than what you attempt. Good try.
And that's the other point. These movies, every horror movie is based on some story that really, really happened.
See, and maybe this is more of a conclusion of why I really don't need to be a horror fan, although I seem to have an epiphany right now that I know quite a lot about horror, but I don't watch the movies, so...
Well, she does sometimes.
I do sometimes, with the lights on and during the day, and...
Yeah. And with people around.
See, I do it right. I do a horror movie right.
Yeah.
I still have nightmares sometimes, but the thing is I guess the reason why I was so excited to do this show was to show that although there are horror movies out there and some of them are really fucked up pieces of work, real life ultimately is way more scary than imagination.
Mm-hmm.
Real life is... I'm not even surprised anymore. Shocked and awed, but not surprised.
Yeah.
And I just wanted you guys to make sure out there, you horror fans, that you think being horror fans is something great. Try finding out the real life behind it. Maybe it'll just make you hate humanity more than you already do, which, if that's the case, then, hey, I'm behind you.
Or actually, these horror movies are giving us a how to deal with things, too.
Again, listen to our part 3 or 3-part series of how to avoid a horror movie.
No, how to survive the horror movie.
Or how to survive.
Yeah. How to survive, or the horror movie rules.
How to walk away from a horror movie.
And live.
And live. To tell the story.
Yeah.
And try not get killed in the sequel and prequel and trilogy and...
And what's after a trilogy?
Fuckery.
No, doesn't it become a series if it's after a trilogy?
It's ridiculous after that.